Beautiful place, and the beauty of this place is not just by the beautiful building that we have, but by the community, by those who fill this masjid, those who lead this masjid, those who lead this community. So this is something that we should be always grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it and thank Him for it, so He can give you more of that. And that's number one. And also I'd like to extend my thanks to Sheikh Yaser and to the leadership of this community for inviting me and Sheikh Muhammad and Sheikh Ammar to visit this beautiful place, Valley Ranch Masjid, Islamic Center. You know, this is my first time to visit your masjid actually, but alhamdulillah, always I know how valuable this place is and the people of this place. I just have very short comments on the hadith. This 11th hadith that you read is a short hadith, but it's filled with ilm, filled with knowledge. Just for those who like fun facts, this is actually the first hadith in Nawawi rahimahullah mentioned in the 40 hadith, which is not in Bukhari or Muslim. It's not reported by Bukhari or Muslim. The 10 hadith before that, all reported by Muslim, and 7 of them reported by Bukhari. Only 3 hadith from the previous 10s were not by Bukhari. Can anybody tell me any one of the 3 that is not by Bukhari? Let's see. Yes? Huh? But it's not from the 10. I'm talking about the previous 10. Anybody? I'll give you a gift. Where's the chocolate here?
Bismillah.
Yalla. Yes?
Only, I guess, maybe Ibn Mas'ud about the election of 40 days
لا الصحيحين. إنما الأعمال بالنيات, Hadith Umar, the second hadith. Oh, that's the hadith, إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى. The narration that in Bukhari, it is from Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu ardah. And the narration in Arba'in Nawawiyya is Muslim. Very good. What else? Hadith Ad-Din al-Nasiha. It's only reported by Muslim rahimahullah. And the third one, Inna Allah tayyib, la yaqbalu illa tayyib, also reported by Muslim. طيب, this hadith, quickly, there is many actually principles and maximums, fiqh maximum, were taken from this hadith, beside what the Shaykh said, which is al-yaqeen, la yazul bil-shak. أيضا, you can do it the opposite way, that الشك يزول باليقين. You can remove doubts by being certain, and certain cannot be removed by doubt. But there is another also qaida in the fuqaha rahimahullah, and it's a beautiful qaida, which is qaidat al-ihtiyat. قاعدة الاحتياط, which is to be in the safe side. والاحتياط له وجهان. الاحتياط عند الفقهاء رحمه الله, to be in the safe side, has 2 formats. The first one, أن تحتاط لنفسك, that you became in the safe side in a personal level. That's fine. لكن لا تحتاط لغيرك. But you don't have the leverage to make احتياط for other people. That's their choice to make. That's why for the mufti it is hard. That's why كان شيخنا الشيخ الألباني رحمه الله يقول في فرق بين الفتوى والتقوى. There is difference between fatwa and taqwa. The fatwa, I will tell you that this is allowed. But the taqwa, it is your choice to say, I will avoid that. The rules for me is 5. Halal, haram, makruh, dislike, or mustahab and wajib. I don't have a 6th one, it's called safe side. That's why the mufti is in a hard position. But you as a mustafti, you as a person, you can choose the safe side. That's became your person. Another point I want to mention also, another qaida al-ulama rahimahumullah, there is more into this. الاحتياط سبحان الله دائما العلماء talk a lot about this في باب البيوع, in business transaction, because it's hard to keep it clean. The Shaykh was mentioned something about Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, that he is maybe a little bit strict in the biyu', and as a matter of fact, the Hanabila is the easiest madhab in the biyu'. But he is correct when it comes to Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, personal choice. Imam Ahmad very strict when it comes to his personal choice. But actually with people in fatwa, he was not that strict. And he understand the difference. Marra Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, somebody asking questions. You know when you buy, what do you call that? A bunch of like, إيش حزمة فجل أو حزمة bunch of like cilantros, okay, together. That's right. So somebody asked him, قال, I bought it. Is the price for that cilantros, for this basically cilantro or parsley? He said, but the guy put around it a rope. He tied it with a rope. Is the rope included, or should I return it back to him?
No.
فغضب الإمام أحمد. He was angry, Imam Ahmad, from such a question. He said, what kind of question is this? يعني the robber, like the robber that you tied it with. He said, is that because I didn't buy it, I only bought the vegetables. فالإمام غضب, he was angry at this. What kind of question is this? فلما أخبر عن السائل, when he was told who asked this question, and he said, إذا كان هذا من بيت أهل هذا الورع فلا حرج. Because those people known to be very careful about al-wara and very safe, that's fine. But for an average person to ask this, هذا تنطع. It became something that is not natural. That's why if there is a beautiful point, I just want to point out to echo, the Sheikh said something so profound, which is basically not everybody this kind of lifestyle fits them. And that's what Imam Ahmad rahimahullah was saying. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, when he buy from the grocery store, he used to return the paper that wrap the vegetables. Because he said, I didn't pay for it. But he never give fatwa to people to do that. He chose this for his own life. That's his own lifestyle that he chose for himself, rahimahullah. But this never his fatwa to the people. ما هو الورع? What's al-wara'? Al-wara', Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah said, I searched this and I couldn't find any better definition for al-wara' other than what my Shaykh said, Ibn Taymiyyah. هو قال ترك وهو to leave what it might harm you in the akhirah. Anything that it might be harmful for you in the akhirah, you avoid it. Anything that it might be harmful in the akhirah. قال والزهد, being ascetic, ترك ما لا ينفع في الآخرة. To leave what will not benefit you in the akhirah. And a lot of people don't see the difference. So this will not benefit me in the akhirah, I avoid it. This might harm me in the akhirah, I avoid it. The second one called wara', the first one called zuhd. Final point. من القواعد اللي ذكروها العلماء, one of the maximum that العلماء رحمه الله derive from this hadith, هي قاعدة المقادير. كيف تقدر المقادير في الشريعة. How العلماء الفقهاء لما talk about how can you put criteria for something. For example, what's considered so much? What's considered little? What is considered a lot or few? How can you define that? Okay, so the fuqaha talk about this. One of the criteria, you look at it, if there is a text, nas. If it's not, you look at the Arabic language, what it means. So, in Arabic, for example, there are certain rules in Arabic. يعني مثلا, and this is من مفردات الحنابلة, one of the only Hanbali madhab has this, and it's based on pure linguistic understanding. They said, if you have an istithna, basically, if you have a general statement, a noun, then you made an exception. That means the exception has to be less than 50%. Less than 50%. That's why if you look at some Hanbali mufassirin, when they came, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا all men in losses except the believing men and women. قالوا معناها أن الذين في خسر أكثر من النصف. بناء على هذه القاعدة. They said that the people who will be in losses except the believing, the one who believe and do good deeds and sabr and yaqeen. He said those people less than half, and more than 0.5% actually among the losses. So some of the qawa'id basically based on Arabic language. And the final one they said, قال عرف الإنسان. You look at what you consider. That's what Imam Ahmad rahimahullah was asked about. النجاسة إذا فحشت. Yani if there is a blood came a lot out of you body, break your wudu. Imam Ahmad was asked, he said, what consider a lot? He said, what you feel is a lot. He said, what's your proof? قال دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. Leave what is doubtful to. Why? Because Sharia consider your judgment a reference. Your judgment to the situation a reference. So that's why so many times, and this is very beneficial, that so many times Sharia have left it to you to make that judgment. And so many times people ask questions, the Mufti, I'm not going to tell you what, it's your call. If you think this is too much, you think it's too much. وذلك هذه من المسائل التي العامة يجب أن يفتي فيها نفسه. And if somebody interested,
حتى ما يفهم الناس إلا إذا كان في نص.
Now, we're not talking. First thing, if there is a text. Second, clearly in the language. Third, when there is none of the above exist. Basically, you come back and for example, there is hardship. It is. I say to you, do this unless it's hard. You're sick, okay? If you're sick, you're allowed to break your fast. I'm not going to define for you what sickness. You're going to define this for yourself. The sickness, there is a common principle. But to apply this 100%, it is between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anyway, with this, I will stop. But this hadith, even it's short, it's so beautiful. And the end of the hadith, which is as-sidqu طمأنينة والكذب ريبة. Some of the ulama said actually this is the result of the first part of the hadith. They said if you leave what is doubtful to what is not doubtful, that shows that you're a truthful person, and that would lead your heart to be always in rest. They said the end of the hadith actually is showing you the results of the beginning of the hadith. And you always take what is doubtful and you don't care, that shows that you're not a person who's very truthful. And that's why you will always live in riba, and basically not certain and not clear. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us fiqh fi din. Yaribuk or yuribuk? Both correct. Yuribuk and yaribuk. Da' ma yuribuk, da' ma yaribuk. Both are correct. But al-afsah, yaribuk, because it comes from thulathi. يريبك بالضم تصير رباعي في الحيث التأصيل رابه أو أرابه. So both correct.
جزاك الله خير. بارك فيك. I want to actually give Sheikh Muhammad inshallah give us a few words. You're being here with us inshallah alhamdulillah, even if it's not about the subject.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is my second time in this beautiful masjid, and I was just thinking about the first time I came here for Dhuhr, and I shared with those who were present a hadith that was the motive behind these kind of visits. So I'll share that with you just to be fair. I think you were there, right? That time? Ustad Dr. Farhan. You remember it? Remember that hadith? Okay, khair. So I'll share the hadith with you, but before I share the hadith, inshallah ta'ala, I just want to say it's very interesting how certain places, even if you have not visited it before, you feel like you've been there before, right? Sheikh Waleed, do you feel like you belong here? That you're familiar with this place?
Be careful with that answer.
Okay. So
be careful with that. We're going to spread that in Houston.
It feels so familiar. Right.
I feel like home.
Exactly. Okay, you feel at home. Okay,
welcome home.
That's
welcome
my point.
home.
And perhaps part of it is that, mashallah, Sheikh Yaser today invited us for, mashallah, very delicious food. It was so delicious, and I'm just going to share with you, that I actually ended up biting my tongue.
No,
so I have a lisp because my tongue hurts. So forgive me, inshallah ta'ala. And that's why I didn't want to leave the salah.
No.
But this place is really special, and our hearts are attached to it for some reason. I don't know why, but perhaps it's because of the what we hope to be the purity of the intentions of the founders and the leaders and the congregants and the members of this community. So you have a ni'mah here that makes other people gravitate towards this place. I'm sitting here, Sheikh Waleed is speaking, and I'm enjoying what he's saying, but every now and then I turn my head and I see a familiar face, and I smile. Sheikh Waleed is talking about something serious, and then I see a familiar face from the different communities that I was a part of. 1, 2, 3, 4, and some of them, I used to remember them as like one individual. Now they're 2, 3, 4. Yani, the person is moving around with a bunch of people around him. MashaAllah. And it's great to see all of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. So there must be something very special here that makes people come here. I want you to be very grateful for that. And thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it. And make sure that you maintain it. And make sure that you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless it for you, inshallah ta'ala. And I just want you to know that I love you a lot. Now Shaykh Waleed said, what is a lot? Yani how do you, what's a lot? Huh? More than 50%? La.
You define it.
It's as many people as those who pray at Epic, Isha.
That's literally Asher.
I had to say that, sorry. But here's the hadith that I wanted to share with you because Sheikh Yaser said to share it. The hadith is of a man. The Prophet ﷺ told us about a man that left his town and went to another town to visit a brother of his. And not a blood brother, but a brother in faith. To visit. To simply visit because he loves that person so much. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him an angel. فَأَرْسَلَ اللَّهُ عَلَى مَدْرَجَتِهِ مَلَكًا. Allah sent an angel in the form of a human being that stopped him and asked him as to where he's going. He said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to such and such, to that village or that town to visit someone, to visit so-and-so. So he said, هَلْ لَكَ مِن نِعْمَةٍ تَرُبُّهَا عَلَيْهِ. So is there a favor that you have done him? Is there a business? Is there special interest, special connection between you? What's the purpose or the objective of this visit? He said, nothing. غَيْرَ أَنِّي أُحِبُّهُ فِي اللَّهِ. Nothing except that I love him for the sake of Allah. I just wanted to go and check on him. I wanted to go and connect with him in person. He said, فَإِنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكَ. I am the messenger of Allah to you, to inform you that Allah loves you because of your love for that person. And we're here because we love you for the sake of Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this connection that we have in this relationship. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the leadership and the members of this community. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Muhammad Faqih, Sheikh Waleed Basyouni, barakallahu feekum, Sheikh Ammar for being
That's
here with
your
us.
gift, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil. You promised with $5, right? Or a gift. Jazakum Allah khair. Thank you very much for being with us here, inshallah ta'ala. A reminder, Sheikh Omar Suleiman's class, the first, is going to start, inshallah, this coming Tuesday, b'idhnillah azza wa jal. And we will continue to have our program, Ta'asir, inshallah ta'ala, on Wednesday. Jazakum Allah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.